Want to build the ultimate Cutlass Black in Star Citizen? Well, I'm going to show you how to optimize your ship's power for maximum performance and minimal signature. I'll first go over the build, then I'll show you how to optimize your power, and then finally, we'll go take the Cutlass out for a spin to see how she performs in combat. For the Cutlass build, I'm going to use Urkel.games just to show you my build, plus I'll include the link in the description. To start off, we're first going to take a look at our weapons, then our shields, power plant and coolers, and finally quantum drive. I'm quickly going to explain everything that I chose. Let's start with the weapons here. For my weapons, I like CF repeaters just because their projectile speed is super fast, but some players for PvE like attritions 3. Here you can see they have more damage, but their projectile speed is a little bit slower. Well, actually a lot of bit slower, but for me, I prefer the faster projectile speed just because it will hit a little bit more than your regular ship. So if I open up my thing here, you can see here the projectile speed after attrition freeze is only 1000, meaning they're super slow. But if I go to my CF repeaters here, you can see the projectile speed is 1800, meaning we will hit more shots for longer distances. And if the server is laggy, we'll also hit a little bit more. Sometimes the only way you can take out a hammerhead is if you have better projectile speed. You can keep your distance, just circle strafe a little bit here and there. And with the projectile speed, you can kill the bigger ship. But both of them will work in PvE. But for PvP, the CF repeaters is way better. That is why I'm going to go with this, since I enjoy it way more. Plus, I enjoy the projectile speed of it. So this is why I'm going to choose this, but you can also go attritions if you want to. Then another thing here, we want to remove the turret guns. Turret guns will drain your power, so make sure you unequip all of them. Let's go to missiles here. For missiles, we're going to go with size 1 missiles. You can just choose your missile rack here, 481, and then you can choose task force. Why do we choose task force? Well, they're the base missile that locks on, plus they lock on pretty fast. Their lock distance is 1000, so you can shoot them out very quickly. Just throw a couple. As soon as that guy goes above 1000, you can just quickly lock, throw out the missile, and you're back in combat. So very efficient. They did nerf this. They nerfed the splash damage, but it's still very good. You can see you can equip 8 missiles per rack. That's a lot of missiles, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 missile racks with 8 missiles. In total, that's 48 missiles, which is crazy for just a little ship like a Cutlass. Moving up to shields here, you can see my shield is a rampart. Why do we choose this? Well, at the moment, has the most shield HP, pretty decent regeneration. The health of the component also pretty good, 1100. So it won't instantly die if a missile hit you, well, hopefully. But you can see compared to the military component, it beats it in health, not regen. And also the health here, the component health is just 200 less. So pretty decent. I think the rampart is actually preferred over the military shield. This is why we're going to go with this. It does increase our signature quite a bit, but I'd rather be tanky than stealthy. So I'm going to go with the rampart. Now for the power plant, we're going to lower our signature with the power plant. We're never going to use more power than we need. We always want to use just enough power to power everything. Otherwise, our signature will spike. Missiles will hit us easier. People will see us easier. So just all around is always better to go with the lowest power plant that you can use. So for my power plant here, I went with a stealth power plant just because I can max out all of my power with a stealth power plant, and it makes the Cutty super stealthy as well. This is the only reason I go with stealth power plants. Otherwise, if I need more power, I'll go with something different. You can also buy this one. You don't have to farm it. You can get the better one if you want to, but the Cyrus, very decent. For the cooler here, we also go with a stealth cooler. Why do we do this? Well, coolers don't matter in Star Citizen. You only need 1 little pip in cooling. Otherwise, your IR signature will climb super high. At the moment, cooling doesn't matter at all. This is why we go with just 1 cooler. In the future, this might change. Then I'll update the build. And then finally for this build, there's a lot of options for the quantum drive, but I like to go with the bolt. Why do I go with the bolt? Well, it's a stealth quantum drive. You can see here, stealth quantum drive, it gives us super low signature, even to our IR. So if you choose a bolt, this will go down even when you're in SCM mode. So definitely very helpful. Plus, if you go to nav mode, your other signature right here will be way lower as well. So you can run without getting missiled. If you don't like the bolt because you feel like it's a little bit too slow, it's not optimized for speed, well, you can always go with the Hemera. This will increase your signature, your IR, by quite a bit, almost double, right? Well, more than double. But you will get a lot more speed and fuel efficiency. But I prefer the bolt. Up here is our signature. So about 7.4 people can spot us. Don't worry too much about the cross section. The cross section will be different depending on where you face with the ship. So if your nose on will only be 4,600. So that's about 4Ks out, thereabout. And if you're full cross section, then obviously if they pancake you, it will be 13.7. So just keep your nose on target when you're approaching ships. This is the reason for my loadout. It's super tanky, but we keep the signature as low as possible. If you're wondering where do I buy all of these components, well, if you go to Urkel and you click, for example, on the shield right here, you can scroll down just a little bit all the way here, click on Stanton, and here will be all of the shops. I recently made a video where I show you exactly how to navigate to each shop. I'm going to include it in the description. I made it just for my loadout videos so that newer players can also find these shops. But you'll see here Omega Pro, New Babbage. But I would recommend that you go to Platinum Bay. You do not have to ride a train then, so way easier to buy. But for each component, you can just click on it and look where you can buy each and every one of them. And then you can just use my video to navigate each station or city. I also included timestamps in that video, so make sure to jump around as you need. Now that we have taken a look at the loadout, let me quickly show you how to optimize your power. We're in the cockpit of our Cutlass here. To optimize your power, you just want to go to power management right here. Just hold in F and then scroll all the way to here. You want to take away one pip from cooling, only have one in there. If you remove cooling completely, you'll see eventually our IR will climb super high, even go bigger than our cross section. So this is why we have one in cooling, just to reduce this and keep it in check. Now let's scroll all the way to the left here. You can see we've got full power to weapons. On top there's two grayed out little blocks. This is the turret weapons that we removed so that we can have more power for our weapons. And you can see there on the left, we've got 150 shots, which is super crazy for the Cutlass at the very moment. And then of course, for our engines, full power to engines so that we can constantly boost. Plus it will give us a little bit maneuverability. And then finally, we've got full power to our shields here as well. The first block here is to power the shields, and the last one is for increased regeneration. So also full power here. Plus our signature is nice and low. This will allow us to stay off radar and missiles won't as easily lock onto us. Now that our power is all set up, let's go do a PvE mission and see how the Cutlass performs. For our PvE mission here, I managed to get a very good contract, a sub-capital class vessel with heavy support. Let's quickly see what targets we can find. So for our targets here, we've got a Constellation, which is our main target. Then over here, we've got a Reclaimer, a very big ship. Then we also have a Retaliator. That thing has a lot of turrets, and it hurts. And then finally, a Corsair. I'm gonna see if I can finish off the supporting ships first, and then we'll deal with the little Constellation last. Let's go for the Reclaimer first. Now for the Reclaimer, do not sit at the top here. It has a size 5 turret, meaning it will shred your shields. Sometimes it even goes through the ship and shoots you, so you need to be very careful. But I like to sit on the back here and just completely shred its shields. It can't really outturn you, so you should be pretty decent. I just want to kill it before other ships find me, since I can't really see. There's already another ship on me. I'm gonna try and finish the job very quickly. Otherwise, I might have to kite here, just outrun them a bit here and there. You can already hear the turret on the constellation shooting me. So we're in a little bit of a pickle. We aggroed too much. I'm just trying to evade as much as possible while not being on top of the ship. Okay, we might have to run here just for a little bit. We'll come back. Just strafing up a little bit and adding a little bit of roll so that I can regen my shields and get another fighting chance. I might have to deal with the smaller ones first since they're more nimble, especially the constellation. Let's see who's on top of us. So here's a 4K out. This is the Retaliator. Let me see if I can deal with it. It has a lot of turrets, so you don't want to get too close with it. Luckily for us, we have CF repeaters. Unfortunately, I did aggro all of them, but it's not a big deal. I think I can still do it. I'm just going to keep my distance about 2Ks out from the Retaliator. Sometimes I'll close the distance to about 1.5, thereabout. Our speed is 1800, so we should be trying keeping our distance. So usually you want to be very close with the CF repeaters, but because this thing has turrets, we want to keep our distance, upstrafe a little bit, and then we can still land some shots here and there, not all of them, but still do damage to the ship without getting hit from its very decent turrets. NPC turrets hurt quite a bit, especially with server meshing now. Getting pretty red now, maybe one more mag and then she's gone. So I'm just going to wait for the full thing here. 150 shots, I believe, which is crazy. One more. 150 didn't do it. There we go. We got her. I'm just going to quickly reset and choose my next target. So I think it might be the Corsair. Let's see if we can deal with the Corsair here. You can see the Corsair is missing all of their shots just because we're circle strafing, right? So very nice for us. Let me see if I can sit on the belly here and just quickly finish it. Trying to get on the belly is a mission, especially with this. There's so many ships setting our shields. Need to run again. They completely killed my shields. It's just because there's so many of them. Back on the Corsair here. I can't really sit for too long on the Corsair just because the constellation is eating me with the turrets. So I need to take my time with it. Here and there I get in a little bit of damage before I need to run usually. Getting in a good amount of damage now. Hopefully I can kill it. I am in the firing arcs of it though, but should be able to miss me since it has cannons and it's super slow. There we go. We've got the Corsair. One more is down. I'm gonna see if I can finish that constellation. That thing is a pain. Here's the constellation. This thing has been the bane of my existence. Now, I don't want to get too close to it. It does have turrets. Way better than the Corsair. So we need to keep our distance here. Otherwise, we'll shred our shields. Shield is down at the very least. So it makes it a lot easier. There's way less ships now. So I can kind of survive a little bit more. Every now and then, my shields will get hit by the Reclaimer. But it's nothing too major for me. The Reclaimer will be an easy time once we get rid of this constellation. We should be getting pretty close. There we go. We've got our target. Now, there's that freaking Reclaimer. We go, let me see if I can sit on the ass of this thing. Since it does have a size 5 turret, well, size 5 repeaters. So we want to avoid the turret by just being under it. Easy pickings now, so don't have to worry too much. I'm just going to pepper my damage into it. I think she's starting to run. We just save up some ammo and finish it off. And there we go. I would say super easy, but it was not that easy. I had to kite quite a bit, but as you can see, even with me pulling all of the aggro, my Cutty survived. I'm not even a red, so a pretty decent build all round. If you enjoyed this build, please leave a like, and if you want to see more videos like this, then you can watch these two videos right here. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.